Both my guests to stay on with me. Now, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has now stated that the Australian government is monitoring developments in Venezuela. Albanese has stated, and I quote, "We urge all parties to support dialogue and diplomacy in order to secure regional stability and prevent escalation." Australia has long held concerns about the situation in Venezuela, including the need to respect democratic principles, human rights, and fundamental freedoms. We continue to support international law and a peaceful democratic transition in Venezuela that reflects the will of the Venezuelan people. Australians in Venezuela who need assistance can contact the 24/7 Emergency Consular Assistance Team at 612-626-13305 from anywhere in the world, or 1300-555-135 from within Australia. Now I want to go across again to Group Captain UK Devnath. Group Captain Devnath, the basic principles of international law don't seem to be applied to the US. Now, do you think that the US will somehow come under scrutiny? Though it's not like Trump listens really to anyone or other countries, but when it comes to this, do you think there is a system in place?
System in place by name of, say, United Nations. The matter is already coming up for discussion at United Nations Security Council. Definitely there will be a discussion on. But as we all know, any discussion which migrates towards condemning USA will be vetoed by USA. What are the other platforms? All the countries in the world presently mostly are avoiding passing any judgment or any comment. Western countries are rather neutral. Their statements are like this, that we are monitoring the situation. We will advise USA to go by international law. But no one is criticizing US government or Donald Trump. There are some countries which are criticizing this action by USA, like Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, even Turkey. But their criticism does not have any potency, because none of these countries can militarily help the Venezuelan government to fight USA. Russia is neck deep in Ukraine. China's entire focus is right now concentrated on Taiwan. It won't like to divert its resources, military resources, away from Taiwan towards Venezuela. Iran and North Korea are small countries. They can only criticize USA and Donald Trump. They do not have military wherewithal to collide with America. Yes, Turkey is one country which is a strong country. It is part of NATO also. It has condemned action by Donald Trump. But Turkey also cannot provide any military or materialistic support to Venezuela. So at present, situation is like this, that most of the governments are remaining silent or non-committal. No country is criticizing US government. The reason is very clear. Most of the countries are dependent upon US support for maintenance of stability and peace within their country. There are some countries where the existing ruling party will lose in case USA withdraws support. Classic example is all the countries, Arab League countries. I can take name of countries like Kuwait, UAE, Saudi, Jordan, Miss Egypt. All these countries, there is a rising discontent from their local population against their rulers. But with the help of USA, they have maintained the local discontent, the local unhappiness within control. So these countries, all these sheikhs and kings and presidents, they will not like to pass any judgmental remark on USA. They will remain silent, or at best they will say that let rule of international law prevail. But who will ensure that? There is no power presently in world which can enforce international law on US, especially by military means. Yes.
I'll come to you, Group Captain VN Jha, shortly. Now, in more breaking updates, massive protests are underway in Spain against the arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife. Remember, earlier Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said, Spain did not recognize the Maduro regime, but neither will it recognize an intervention that violates international law and pushes the region towards a horizon of uncertainty and belligerence. In a massive rally in Havana, just steps from the US Embassy, Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel today harshly condemned Trump's bombing of Caracas as an act of terrorism and violation of international law. He also accused Washington of kidnapping President Nicolás Maduro, urging his supporters to take a stand against fascism. Let's listen in.
¡Abajo el imperialismo genocida, inmoral y fascista! Este acto de terrorismo de Estado que acaba de ocurrir en Venezuela es un atropello escandaloso a las normas del derecho internacional. La agresión militar a una nación de paz que en nada amenaza a Estados Unidos y el secuestro de un presidente legítimo electo soberanamente por su pueblo. No puede haber silencio ni aceptación.
You know, Group Captain Dr. VN Jha, a lot of countries are coming out vociferously and condemning the attack. They're making countries like Cuba, India has condemned the attack, Spain's condemning it. So, and now going forward, now do you think that it'll be somewhat a Ukraine sort of a situation in terms of them actually, Venezuela attempting to fight back? Because there were both sides coming for peace, but they also said that they're ready to fight fail.
Vaishali, I'm sorry, your voice has been cutting off on and off, but doesn't matter. Look, what is going to happen here is any law-abiding country will obviously condemn this action of US administration. Every country is sovereign. Like say in our own neighborhood, Bangladesh of late has been creating a problem for us. They have been fighting or they have been going against the same people who have liberated the country, but yet India has not intervened, not even utter a word harshly to Bangladesh, just for one reason that we are a law-abiding country and we give that right of sovereignty to Bangladesh, even Bangladesh. Should India adopt this sort of position of USA that if someone doesn't suit you, just change them, attack them, capture them? No, any law-abiding country will not do that, and that is why any of the countries that you have just played the audio and the video, whether it is Cuba or anyone else, no one can stand by with the action of Trump here in this case of Venezuela. And this is not all of a sudden. Venezuela has been garroted from all sides. It is being strangulated. Even the oil ships that has been coming towards it, oil tankers, they have been stopped. They have been diverted. So all these actions are going on for several weeks, maybe over a month. So it is not a sudden action, but what I was trying to point you out is that if army chiefs or air force chiefs, if they have not taken action against the coming helicopter, many of these bombs have been dropped by the helicopter and other aircraft. Venezuela has got a credible air support. For interception or for attacking any incoming aircraft, but they have not done so. Military has got a substantial power, at least to prevent any incursion onto the land into the capital. They have not done so. So I also suspect that there are some people within the country which has let this happen, which has let Maduro to be captured. But fair enough. I mean, the nation, if the nation is not happy with Venezuelan president, they have the right to throw him out. But recently he has been elected. So what American action is there, whether Australia doesn't put so many words in decrying the action, condemning the action, surely most of the nation may not be on face of the media, but behind the media they are all unhappy with this American action. Obviously, Venezuela cannot defend itself against the mighty American Navy, because the entire coastal line is right now surrounded by American Navy. So they can't fight back. Now they cannot become Ukraine, because there is no force like NATO or Europe who can stand with Venezuela, supply all the weapons and send their own people, including mercenaries. Their payments were being made by the European nations. So there is no other country who can support Venezuela like Ukraine. So it will not become a Ukraine-Russia war in the coming days for various reasons. One thing is that they don't have the common territorial line. And secondly, Ukraine had the backing of many of the European nations, including the NATO when the previous administration was there. But that is not the case with Venezuela. So it will not become Ukraine-Russia war for sure. But the discontent of the people on the Venezuelan territory, there will be a keenness to take action, whether they overtly they can't fight American. So maybe some covert action, like what the Afghani people or ISIS had, or Al Qaeda had taken against America of 9/11. So there you can't rule out such things to happen in the future. Earlier it was only the Islamists who were doing such things. Maybe in the coming days there could be more.
Group Captain
Because
I'll have to interrupt you, but I've got your point because we're very short of time. But I want to thank Group Captain UK Devnath and Group Captain Dr. V.N. Jha for their time on Newsx today. Thank you so much. And with that, we're slipping into a short commercial break. I'll see you on the other side.